Grief doesn't knock. It doesn't send a warning text. One day, life feels familiar, stitched together in ways that make sense. And the next, something is missing. A voice, a dream, a relationship, a version of life you assumed would always be there. Jim Carrey once said, "Grief is not just an emotion, it's an unraveling." And if you've ever felt like your world came undone without your permission, this message is for you. Grief isn't just sadness, it's disorientation. It's waking up and realizing the routine you relied on no longer exists. It's reaching for your phone out of habit, then stopping mid-motion when you remember there's no one on the other end anymore. It's not dramatic. It's quiet, heavy, and persistent. Like pulling a loose thread on your favorite sweater and suddenly realizing half the sleeve is gone. One moment, life fits. The next, it doesn't. And what makes grief especially difficult is that it doesn't just take something away. It leaves behind space. Empty space. Deafening silence where laughter used to live. A chair that stays empty. A future that now looks different than the one you planned for. Whether that loss comes from death, a breakup, a failed business, or the end of a season you loved. Grief doesn't discriminate. It shows up for parents, students, entrepreneurs, and dreamers alike. Think about the feeling when your favorite TV show gets canceled without warning. You invested years. You knew the characters, you followed the storylines, and then, gone. No closure, no explanation, just a blank screen and a quiet sense of weight. That's it? Now imagine that feeling multiplied by 1,000. That's grief. Not just losing something, but losing the continuation of it. So the real question becomes this. What do you do when life unravels? Because grief doesn't respond to shortcuts. You can't hustle past it. You can't positive thinking your way around it. You can't drown it out with noise forever. Grief demands to be felt. If you try to outrun it, it will wait patiently, usually showing up in the grocery store aisle, in the car at a red light, or at 2 a.m. when your mind finally slows down. But here's the part most people don't tell you. Grief, while painful, also carries potential. Not the kind that makes the pain worth it. Not the kind that erases loss, but the kind that invites transformation. Grief asks deeper questions. It forces reflection. It clarifies what matters. And over time, slowly, unevenly, it can soften into wisdom, compassion, and strength you didn't know you were building. For entrepreneurs, grief might come from a business that didn't survive, a partnership that ended, or a dream that didn't unfold the way you envisioned. For parents, it may be the grief of watching time move too fast, children change, or family dynamics shift. For students, it can be the loss of identity, certainty, or confidence. And for anyone who has loved deeply, grief is simply the echo of that love continuing on. Here's the life hack most people miss. Grief isn't something to fix. It's something to integrate. You don't go back to who you were before. You become someone new, someone more layered, someone more human. Life is constant change. That part is unavoidable. Loss is an unfortunate but inevitable cost of caring, dreaming, and loving. And while you may not get back what's gone, you can choose what fills the space it left behind. New routines, new meaning, new connections, new strength. This doesn't mean rushing the process. It means honoring it. It means allowing yourself to feel unraveled without judging yourself for it. It means understanding that productivity might look different for a while. And that's okay. Healing is not linear. and progress doesn't always look impressive from the outside. But here's something important to remember. Even unraveled threads still belong to something. That sweater didn't lose its value just because it came apart. The fabric is still there. The material still matters. And with time, intention, and patience, it can be rewoven into something new, something different, something uniquely yours. Maybe it becomes softer. Maybe it becomes stronger. Maybe it becomes something you never planned, but something that fits your life now. So if you're grieving today, over a person, a relationship, a version of yourself, or a future that changed, know this: you're not broken. You're processing. You're adapting. You're human. And you don't have to do it alone. At Positivity Perks, we believe encouragement isn't about pretending things don't hurt. It's about reminding you that you can carry pain and still move forward. That growth can happen alongside grief. That resilience is often built in moments you never would have chosen. If today feels heavy, let it be heavy. If tomorrow feels lighter, let it be lighter. Healing doesn't require permission. It just requires honesty. And that unraveling you're experiencing, it might just be the beginning of a masterpiece you haven't fully seen yet. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more daily positivity and motivation. Let's build a community that supports each other through every stage of life. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's one way you've found healing in the midst of loss? Stay strong. Stay positive. And remember, you are not alone.